Ever wondered why the Atlantic Ocean, though beautiful, holds a reputation for danger? Well, let's delve into the mystery of this massive body of water, a stunning sight to behold, yet beneath its serene surface, it conceals a myriad of dangers. The Atlantic Ocean, our planet's second-largest ocean, stretches over a vast expanse, covering about 1/5 of the Earth's surface. It's a world in itself, teeming with a diverse array of marine life, from the smallest plankton to the largest whales. But don't let its mesmerizing beauty fool you. The Atlantic Ocean has a long history of peril and mystery, a reputation that dates back centuries. From the tales of ancient mariners to the chronicles of modern explorers, the Atlantic has always been a place of intrigue and danger. Historically, the Atlantic has been a formidable adversary for seafarers. Unpredictable weather, powerful currents, and treacherous underwater terrain have been the bane of many an explorer. These natural hazards have claimed countless lives and vessels over the centuries, earning the Atlantic its fearsome reputation. But the dangers of the Atlantic are not just confined to its physical attributes. The ocean also harbors a multitude of hidden threats, some of which have evolved over time. From the unseen predators lurking in its depths, to the unseen perils of pollution and climate change, the Atlantic presents a host of challenges for both humans and marine life alike. And yet, despite these dangers, the Atlantic continues to draw us in with its endless allure. Its vastness, its depths, its mysteries, all serve to ignite our curiosity and our sense of adventure. But as we venture into its waters, we must always remember the risks that lie beneath the surface. As we embark on this journey through the ages, we'll delve into the historical dangers of the Atlantic, shedding light on its past and the challenges it presents today. So buckle up for a fascinating voyage into the heart of the Atlantic, a journey that promises to be both enlightening and thrilling. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the past, exploring the historical dangers of the Atlantic Ocean. Rewind to the ancient times, the Atlantic was a mystery, a vast unknown expanse fraught with danger. Imagine being an ancient mariner, setting sail into the uncharted waters of the Atlantic. It was not just a navigational challenge, but a psychological one as well. The fear of the unknown was as palpable as the salty sea breeze. The sailors of yore had to contend not only with the natural elements, but also their own fears and superstitions. The Atlantic was a realm teeming with mythical sea monsters, at least in the minds of the ancient seafarers. Tales of gargantuan serpents, colossal squids, and other terrifying beasts were passed down from generation to generation. These were not just figments of imagination, but real dangers lurking in the depths of the sea, ready to devour any unfortunate soul who dared to venture into their territory. And then there were the rough seas. The Atlantic, with its unpredictable weather patterns and fierce storms, was a formidable adversary. Sailors had to battle against towering waves, howling winds, and treacherous currents. Without the modern navigational tools we take for granted today, they had to rely on their instincts, their knowledge of the stars, and their experience to navigate these treacherous waters. The lack of navigational tools further heightened the danger. The compass had not been invented yet, and the rudimentary maps of the time were often inaccurate or incomplete. This made the Atlantic a labyrinth of sorts where losing your way was all too easy. Many a ship was lost to the sea, swallowed by the Atlantic's insatiable appetite, their tales of adventure and exploration cut short by the ocean's unforgiving nature. Yet despite these daunting challenges, the allure of the Atlantic was irresistible. It held the promise of new lands, new resources, and new opportunities. It was a test of courage, a path to glory, a gateway to the unknown. The Atlantic, once a sea of terror, but did it remain so? Let's move forward in time. Circa 15th century, the age of discovery. The Atlantic became a theater of exploration and conquest, but not without its perils. In this era, the Atlantic Ocean was a vast, uncharted territory. Adventurers and explorers took to the seas, fueled by curiosity and the promise of untold riches. But the reality was far from the romantic notion of discovery. The Atlantic was a merciless foe, taking more lives than it granted fortunes. Shipwrecks were a common occurrence during this period. The technology of the time was simply not up to the task of navigating the Atlantic's unpredictable weather and treacherous waters. Ships were often frail and ill-equipped to handle the ocean's wrath. Many brave souls met their end at the bottom of the sea, their dreams of discovery and wealth sinking with them. It wasn't just the sea itself that posed a threat. Piracy was rife during the Age of Discovery. Pirates, attracted by the prospect of easy pickings, preyed on merchant vessels. These seafaring outlaws would seize ships, loot their cargo, and often leave the crew to the mercy of the Atlantic. For those who survived, the memory of a pirate attack was a chilling reminder of the ocean's dangers. And then there were the diseases. Sailors were exposed to a host of illnesses, both on board their ships and in the new lands they visited. Scurvy, a debilitating disease caused by a lack of vitamin C, was a common affliction that claimed many lives. Other diseases like smallpox and typhus were also rampant, often spreading quickly in the confined spaces of a ship. But despite these perils, the Age of Discovery was a time of great advancement. It was a period that expanded our understanding of the world, opening up new trade routes and paving the way for future exploration. The Atlantic, a pathway to new worlds, yet a graveyard for many. What happens next? Let's move into the modern era. As seen script. Fast forward to the 20th century. Technology advanced, but the Atlantic continued to pose new challenges. As the industrial era took hold, the world saw a surge in maritime technology. Yet, the Atlantic Ocean didn't become any less treacherous. Let's take, for instance, the sinking of the Titanic in 1912. This tragic event underscored the Atlantic's icy menace. The unsinkable ship, a marvel of modern engineering, succumbed to an iceberg, causing one of the deadliest peacetime maritime disasters in history. The Titanic's fate was a stark reminder that the Atlantic's icy waters could still claim lives despite advancements in technology. Moving forward to the dark days of World War II, the Atlantic became a theater of warfare. The ocean's vast expanse was used as a stealthy pathway for German U-boats. These submarines prowled beneath the waves, launching surprise attacks on Allied convoys. This deadly game of cat and mouse claimed thousands of lives and ships alike, proving the Atlantic could be as dangerous a battleground as any on land. In the modern era, the Atlantic hasn't ceased to surprise us with new dangers. Piracy, once the scourge of the Age of Discovery, has made a worrying comeback. Modern-day pirates, armed with high-speed boats and automatic weapons, pose a severe threat to commercial shipping and private yachts. They lurk in the less patrolled areas of the Atlantic, ready to strike unsuspecting vessels. Moreover, the Atlantic's unpredictable weather patterns continue to pose significant challenges. Hurricanes, often born in the warm waters of the Atlantic, have become more frequent and destructive due to climate change. These powerful storms wreak havoc on coastal communities, reminding us of the ocean's devastating power. The Atlantic, a symbol of progress but also a reminder of nature's power. But wait, there's more. In the next scene, we will dive into the current state of the Atlantic, exploring the challenges and dangers that persist in the 21st century. So, stay tuned. A scene script. Here we are in the 21st century. You'd think we've conquered the Atlantic by now, but think again. In our contemporary era, the Atlantic Ocean continues to assert its dominance and power, revealing new dangers that are as menacing as they are complex. Climate change, a term that's become all too familiar in our daily conversations, is the invisible enemy that's having a profound impact on the Atlantic. With rising global temperatures, we're seeing the Atlantic heat up, setting in motion a chain of events that are reshaping the ocean as we know it. Icebergs, once formidable and immovable, are melting at an alarming rate, contributing to rising sea levels. This poses a significant threat to coastal cities, many of which are grappling with the possibility of being submerged in the not-so-distant future. But that's not all. Warmer waters are also leading to unpredictable and severe weather patterns. Hurricanes, once a seasonal worry, are becoming more frequent and powerful. From the Caribbean islands to the eastern seaboard of the United States, communities are bracing for storms that are increasing in intensity year by year. And let's not forget about the ocean's inhabitants. Marine life, from the tiniest plankton to the largest whales, are all feeling the effects of these changes. Warmer waters can cause coral bleaching, a phenomenon that threatens entire ecosystems. Fish populations are moving or dwindling, which in turn impacts human communities that rely on these resources. Moreover, these changes are not happening in isolation. They're interconnected, each one exacerbating the other, creating a domino effect of challenges that scientists, policymakers, and everyday citizens are trying to understand and mitigate. The Atlantic, still as formidable as ever. So, what have we learned? Despite our technological advancements and scientific understanding, the Atlantic remains a force to be reckoned with. It's a stark reminder of our planet's resilience and our responsibility to safeguard it for future generations. From ancient sea monsters to modern-day climate change, the Atlantic Ocean remains a force to be reckoned with. We've journeyed through the ages, from the ancient era steeped in myth and legend, through the age of discovery, to the modern era and the present day. At each turn, the Atlantic Ocean has proven both a marvel and a menace, a source of life and a bringer of peril. In ancient times, tales of sea monsters and the wrath of Poseidon served as stark reminders of the ocean's unpredictable nature. These myths encapsulated the fear and respect our ancestors had for the Atlantic, a vast unknown entity that could either grant safe passage or unleash devastating storms. During the Age of Discovery, the Atlantic stood as a formidable barrier to the New World. Navigators and explorers braved its treacherous currents and unpredictable weather, often with tragic outcomes. Yet it was also a gateway to new lands, cultures, and opportunities, a testament to humankind's resilience and our innate drive to explore. In the modern era, the Atlantic has continued to pose significant challenges. Its powerful hurricanes, rogue waves, and shifting currents have resulted in countless shipwrecks and losses. Yet it is also a vital artery for global trade and transportation, connecting continents and facilitating economic growth. Today, the Atlantic Ocean faces a new kind of danger, one that threatens its very existence. Climate change, pollution, and overfishing are altering its delicate ecosystem. These human-induced challenges not only endanger the diverse marine life that calls the Atlantic home, but also pose significant risks to coastal communities and economies. In essence, the Atlantic Ocean is a living testament to nature's power and mystery. It's a dynamic, evolving entity that continues to shape and be shaped by human history. Its dangers, both natural and human-made, are a reminder of our place in the world and our responsibility to protect and respect this incredible resource. The Atlantic Ocean, a testament to nature's power and mystery. Always respect it and never underestimate its dangers.